Uh, what is it for pack? I just watched the worst film of all time. And I'm not even joking when I say that. I have never recoiled, raged, felt so many emotions in a film. Let me preface negative emotions. I felt a lot of emotions during like Five Nights at Freddy's, but those were good emotions. If you guys don't know, I'm talking about um, 2016's roughly Death Note. Um, everyone hated this film, and I always thought that, hey, maybe they're overreacting. So I started watching it this morning. I just finished it. It was so awful. It was the worst film of all time. And that's surprising because I'm usually an optimist when it comes to movies. This film, yikes, man. Let's get into it because, first off, big point, the, the biggest change that they made is L being black. It's not the worst thing, especially not what they did with his character. But the guy, he acted like L. You know, he had the mannerisms of L. The thing I could not get past is how they made L like losing his mind. So L like actually loses his mind in the pursuit of Kira. That's not what happens at all in the anime. L the entire time has kept his cool for the most part. Uh, this film was barely an adaptation, bro. Let's first off, how Light gets the book is completely different. There's also the fact that the whole point of the Death Note is that it's obscure, right? You're not supposed to know that it's existing, that it's falling from the sky. But in the show or in the movie, they changed that because there's a massive storm to give the presence of the Death Note, right? It falls into light. Which, okay, another thing. Whoever casted the people, awful. What were they thinking? So, here's the issue, right? Here's the main point that I want to make. The whole, like, Light's character has always been, like, the more privileged side of people, right? Like, his entire family's alive. He's rich. His father is a part of the police force. So it's like his entire character is him being privileged. He gets straight A's. He's good with the girls. For some reason, they did not deliver that in the show. Right? He gets bullied, which doesn't happen in the anime. He okay. Another thing is that he immediately gets defensive with Mia. He doesn't even know Mia. And all of a sudden he's like super defensive, like, you stay away from her. Bro, what? Just dude, there's so many bad things. My brain hurts. I genuinely got a headache from this movie. I'm not even kidding. But there's also yeah, he gets bullied, he gets knocked out, blah blah blah. And that's when he writes in the death note Tucker's name. Also, another thing, they completely fucking whitewashed the character. And I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that as a dig. Like, they genuinely whitewashed his character. Like, obviously, Light Yagami doesn't exactly have an ethnicity or a confirmed ethnicity, but his last name's Yagami, right? But for some reason, they changed that for the film. They changed his name to be Tucker. Light Tucker. What? Alright, and then apparently they got rid of Misa. And we now have Mia. Dude, this... I almost don't want to review this, but we have to. And it's immediately established that Light likes Mia. Now, again, this is an issue. Light does not like people. He doesn't even like Misa, who is literally obsessed with him. He doesn't even give her the time of day. And yet he is out here making out. He sacrifices himself for Mia. That's not Light, dude. Also, he's blonde and has slick back hair. In what world? Like, I want to know what the writers were thinking making this film. Genuinely, I want to know. So anyway, we find out that, or we get the lore dump that his mom's dead and there is no sister. And that's when I started seeing that this movie derails so quickly. Even like, even my girlfriend was confirmed or was concerned because I was getting so mad. So they completely bastardized the point of the characters, bro. Like, Light is supposed to be a privileged character. And that's what makes his character so, like, nobody suspects him of being Kira because he is successful. And because he is privileged. So, yeah. But then Light writes the name of the person who killed his mom's name in the death note, and all hell breaks loose. Oh yeah, also we need to mention this. For some reason they made him such a dweeb, dude. Like, when Ryu first appears, Light is literally running away, screaming like a little girl, and then hides in a desk curled up. What made you watch the anime and then think the live action should be, oh, he gets scared. Like, bro, what? What? It makes no sense, dude. I wish I remembered this film, honestly. I don't remember the exact story beats, but yeah, Light starts getting into writing his the Death Note. He quickly befriends Mia. Makes no fucking sense because they didn't know each other until now. That's when L gets introduced. Again, L's black. And again, I need to mention, L literally drives a car to chase Light. So yeah, so a lot of the events do play out how they do in the show. So I'm gonna skip to like the ending. The ending is actually not bad. But we'll get into the positives after the overwhelmingly amount of negatives. How the story ends is Mia and Light go to the top of a Ferris wheel, and they fall off because Ryuk like causes the Ferris wheel to fall, and then they both fall to their death, or quote, sorry, their quote deaths, because Light survives, and he's in a coma, and his father's like, so it was you, how do you do it? And Light gives us a whole spiel on how he survived. So that's it for the negatives. Let's get on with the positives. Ryuk. That's really about it, honestly. That's about it. Ryuk was played so well by Willem Dafoe. Who would have thought? Who would have thought Willem Dafoe would be the saving grace of this film? To where it doesn't go to a zero. It was acted well. The CGI on Ryuk was good. I liked how actually human Ryuk felt. I got rage baited, by the way, because Light at the start of the film calls him Ryuk, not Ryuk, Ryuk. And I went on a 10-minute spiel with my girlfriend about how it's Ryuk, not Ryuk. And I almost quit right then and there. I wasn't even going to finish the film. Because if they were going to call him Ryuk the entire time, I was going to leave. But no, I got rage baited. It was a part of the story. So, there's that. Ryuk. Yeah, Ryuk. Ryuk was done so well. I will also say, when the movie isn't trying to be an adaptation, like when it's trying to be its own story, that's when it got good, when I actually was interested. I liked when they went on their own path. Like, honestly, if they just made this like a alternate story of the Death Note, because we know that the Death Note's been passed down from generations to generations, so there's gonna be a Death Note holder after Light. So it would be interesting to see other shows, you know? And I feel like this movie would have been so much better if it wasn't trying to be a show adaptation. Because it falls apart really quickly. Like, in the first minute, it's barely an animation. Or it's barely an adaptation. Okay, another negative is how they ended the film. So Light is in the coma in the hospital, and he's talking to his father, and then Ryuk comes in and starts laughing, and Light's like, "What?" And Ryuk is like, "You humans are so interesting," and then the film fucking ends. And I was just sitting there like, what? I beg your pardon? That's how you end the film? No hey, goodbye, or anything? Just to hit it and quit it? And yeah. I don't, maybe they were planning for a sequel. That's hilarious. That's hilarious words that came out of my mouth. A sequel to this trash? Bro. But like I said, it would have been so much better if it was just another Death Note story. Not Light's story, but Death Note story. Like, I liked the part where it's like, it's more Mia being the bad guy than Light. Like Light is hesitant on wanting to kill the police officers, as opposed to the anime where Light is the sole killer. But I like that they actually switched it up and made Mia the bad guy. Also, the ending was less predictable than I thought. I thought they were going to end it on some sappy romance, but no. Mia actually betrays Light. Well, they betray each other, really. And I like that there's actual mental gymnastics throughout the thing to get what they want. But here's where I put the final nail in the coffin that I hate this adaptation of L. L is inside of Light's room, trashing the place. He finds a piece of the Death Note, and he actively looks at Light and is about to write Light's name down. L wouldn't fucking do that. Have they not watched the original? Like, really? Because L's whole reason for wanting to track down Kira is to stop him from killing. And then L is just gonna kill again. I mean, I guess it's better. I guess it's like, oh yeah, damn. That's actually a good thing. For somebody like me who is a Red Hood apologist and loves Red Hood more than most DC characters, you'd think that I would like that. But no, they bastardized the character. They ruined every character they touched except for Ryuk. And that's not even a hard feat to do. You literally just have to make a chaotic demon. Boom, you made Ryuk. Congratulations. And honestly, I was so worried that they were going to switch up the dad being a cop, but I now understand that was stupid because massive plot points is that he's a cop. But yeah, I don't know what they were thinking making this film. Genuinely, dude. Genuinely. This movie was awful. There's only like a couple of corn pieces in the shit ball of a movie. And yeah, it's just so. This movie was awful, dude. I'm sorry. It's a 1 out of 10. It's a 1 out of 10. The only reason there's a 1 is weak. But yeah, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. The moral of the story today is trust the media when they say a movie is bad.